bounced over loudspeakers. The CIA and the Mafia are in cahoots. Had to be said in an old lady's language. Had to be said in American headlines. Kennedy stretched and smiled and got double-crossed by low-life goons and agents. Rich bankers with criminal connections. The dope pushers in the CIA, working with dope pushers from Cuba, working with big-time syndicates from Tampa, Florida. And it had to be said with a big mouth. It had to be moaned over factory foghorns. It had to be chattered on car radio news broadcasts. It had to be screamed in the kitchen and yelled in the basements where uncles were fighting. It had to be howled on the streets by the newsboys to the bus conductors. It had to be foghorned in the New York harbor. It had to echo onto hard hats. It had to turn up the volume in university ballrooms. It had to be written in library books that were footnoted. It had to be in the headlines of the Times and the Mind. It had to be barked on TV. It had to be heard in alleyways through ballroom doors. It had to be played on wire services. It had to be bells ringing. Comedians stopped dead in the middle of the joke in Las Vegas. It had to be FBI Chief J. Edgar Hoover and Frank Costello's syndicate mouthpiece meeting in Central Park, New York weekends, reported Time magazine. They had to be rich. They had to be powerful. They had to murder in Indonesia 500,000. They had to murder in Indonesia 2 million. They had to murder in Czechoslovakia. They had to murder in Pile. They had to murder in Russia. And they had to murder in America. Yeah.